I'll do two more examples with you on solving to put it into vertex form. So on this one, there's a rule about completing the square that if this is negative, we have to get rid of it. Just kind of like when we're factoring, we never want to have a negative coefficient. So I'm going to go through and divide everything by a negative so that my leading coefficient is positive. And now I'm going to work on completing the square. The first thing I check to see if it's already there is half of this number squared in this spot right here. What is half of negative 4? Negative 2. What's negative 2 squared? 4. That is not what's right here, so I'm going to have to do some work on this one to put it into vertex form. So I'm going to start by moving this 32 to the other side by adding 32. And I know that I'm going to add something right here. The thing that I'm going to add is negative 2 squared, because that's what half of negative 4 is. So that's going to factor like this. What is negative 2 squared? That's 4, so I'm really adding 4 to both sides. So on the left side, I have negative y plus 36. So now I need to move the 36 to the other side, so I have negative y equals x minus 2 squared minus 36. But now I want to get rid of the negative y by dividing or multiplying everything by a negative. So this becomes positive y. This whole term becomes negative x minus 2 squared. And this whole term becomes plus 36. So let's think about what this would look like if I graphed it. I need a graph here that probably doesn't go by ones. So I'm going to go over 2 and up way up here to 36. Would be my vertex. And then because this is negative, it's going to open downward. It's going to go over 1, down 1, over 1, down 1, and kind of look something like that. When we actually draw a graph, they're going to want you to draw it so that it goes through both intercepts. Let's do one more like that that's just got crazy numbers in it. Y equals x squared plus 3x plus 3. All right, just by looking at this, from what I know, it's going to open upward and it should cross through 3 on the y-axis. We know that from the day that we learned standard form. So I'm going to put this into vertex form. So half of 3 is 1.5, and 1.5 squared is not 3. So I'm going to have to move the 3 over. So I'm going to have something right here. And that's going to be half of that number squared. I like fractions, so I'm going to leave it as 3/2 squared. So over here, I have x plus 3/2 squared. But what I've really added to this side is 9/4. So I need to add 9/4 to this side. So since that's negative 3, I'm actually going to turn it into 12/4. So I have negative 12/4 plus 9/4 is negative 4/4, which is negative 1. So on this side, I have y minus 1 equals x plus 3/2 squared. And you can use your calculator for all that. That's fine. So then I'm going to move the 1 to the other side. Oh, it looks like this. So let's think about our vertex. I'm going to go to the left 3/2, which is like negative 1.5, and up 1. And then from there, I'm going to go over 1, up 1, over 1, up 1, over 2, up 4. So you can see how it would cross through approximately 3. So our vertex, our axis of symmetry would be at x equals negative 3/2 or negative 1.5.